Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharetz, Malachei Elyon.
This is a rabbi for the Nottingham Progressive Synagogue, and I record perhaps up to 40, 50 different faiths in a 2-week research trip. And out of those faiths, maybe 70 to 80 separate prayers. The installation prayer, it's a 15-meter long, 5-meter wide red carpet with 12 black circular speakers spaced along the carpet. And at any given time you'll hear 6 different prayers, chants, songs, hymns coming out of these speakers. Each speaker with its own separate one. And if you approach an individual speaker, and for clarity you would probably want to kneel down, referencing the physical act of genuflection or supplication, you'll be able to listen to that one individual voice very clearly amongst the babble of the rest.
Aigir nandani nandit medani vishva vinodani nandanute Girivar vindhya shirodhi nivasani Vishnu vilasani jishnu nute.
It's a project that I think has got a long lifespan, because our thoughts on faith and migration and geography, geopolitics are all tied up into that project. Perhaps religion is just a metaphor here. It's about communities, how people represent themselves, how they gather together to preserve certain things. I think there's quite a lot in there. The version of There's No Place Called Home presented in Montmartre at Sacré-Cœur, I used calls of extinct American birds that died out in the late 50s. There are still some historical recordings of these birds, but I used these samples and diffused them through the trees. A work created in 2006, which involved me putting a microphone inside the empty elevator that descends the world's deepest gold mine, which is outside of Johannesburg. It's the South Deep Mine. It's a astonishing 4 kilometers deep. I recorded the sound of the elevator, the empty elevator dropping down that shaft. It took 3.5 minutes to get down. So it's traveling at just over 60 kilometers an hour. This is at the surface of the earth. It's the closing of the cage. Those drones you hear that's the sound of the landscape up there, the generators, things like that. It's empty. It was important for me that it was empty, so I can place the viewer, because I think this is also very much a visual experience, or rather audience member, to not be medium specific, inside the cage, that they'll be traveling down to the bowels of the earth. Now we're getting to about 60 k's an hour. This is while the elevator is stationary at 4 kilometers under the earth. Just a high drone. One reading of this work is that this is the sound that has been the development and exploitation of many people and the creation of the South Africa that we know. I called it the Black Passage to elicit also some more metaphorical, perhaps psychological readings. This idea of moving from one state to another. It has a certain esoteric quality about it. Also, that literally this installation I built is a black passage.